Fireflies were going to be the smallest mob in Minecraft when they were going to be added in the 1.19 World Update, if Mojang didn't decide to remove them a few days ago now. So, with my knowledge and prowess of command blocks, let's see if we can add these 2 floating pixels back into the game. So, of course, let's start with giving ourselves a command block. Pretty much the start of every command project. Okay, so I think my original plan for this would actually be just have a bat and then maybe like retexture it to be like 2 floating pixels. And that would kind of work. That probably would work on second thoughts, but that's not what we're doing today because firstly I don't know how to texture mobs, and that would actually not really work because the 2 pixels kind of always need to be facing you, almost like a particle effect. So I think my plan for this is just gonna have a bat, but with an armor stand on top of it, holding an item on its head, which will always rotate towards you, so it would give the appearance of these 2 floating pixels that would be flying around because it has a bat's movement and would still be facing you. Okay, so I've managed to create a bat with a passenger of an arm stand with an apple on its head to test how the mechanics work. Okay. That seems to work, but I think we need to retexture this apple to look a bit more like a firefly, and also maybe adjust the movement a bit, make it slow down, and of course make the pixels always face towards us. Just get rid of you. Okay, let's try that now. That's a lot of chat spam. Okay, let's just get rid of that. And yeah, that's still not working. Okay, so I've modified it a little bit. Now we should have a separate armor stand that's now floating on top of the bat permanently. Okay, we're getting somewhere. Oh, wait a second. Oh, I had to make a texture pack. Oh. Right, okay, well, let's just go and learn how to make a texture pack from scratch. I'm sure it's not that hard. Okay, so I know how to make texture packs. I did the thing. This has taken me longer than I care to admit to make a purple and black edible cube. Okay, final test, otherwise I am giving up. And yo, okay, we have a yellow and black rectangle instead of an apple, and it only took me around 2 hours, I'd say, something like that. But yeah, now we have an edible yellow and black rectangle. Looks rather nice, if I do say so myself. Best work of texturing I've done ever. Okay, so let's spawn our firefly, and yeah, that's looking pretty good at the moment. I'd say there are quite a few changes and improvements to make. It appears that you cannot give back slowness. Yeah, because it doesn't make them slow. Okay, what if we give them the thing I discovered? We give them insanely high levels of levitation. Okay, no, that was wrong. Nope. Nope. Goodbye. Okay, trying again. If we give them 250. Okay, you just float off onto the sky, creating loads of big trail. That's not meant to happen, but it does look quite cool. Maybe bats don't get affected by the special levitation thing. They give them highest level of levitation. Yeah, they kind of just zip off. Oh, I guess the bats are kind of stuck at that speed, but there's still plenty of stuff to do before we can finish off our firefly. Firstly, I want to actually see if I can make this texture a little bit shorter to make it more like the firefly that Mojang actually shows. And then maybe I can add another texture, or maybe even a few more textures, which will actually change the thing from going on and off. because it might go from yellow to black and then back to yellow again. Okay, so here is our finished texture pack right here that we've got. We've got an apple, bread, cod, mushroom stew, pork chop, and cake. So as you may see, that these are actually only half of the Firefly for each of these, and I did that to make it kind of more Firefly-esque because it had an actual rectangle in the thing, and I couldn't find a way to do that with just one texture. So we have all of these different textures, but the state of the Firefly is actually turning on and off in these 5 things. So let's hop right back into the game. I just realised how strange this looks when you go into the inventory. Foodstuffs, apple. Yeah, that's an apple. Maybe a bit on the golden side and lacking a stem, but it's good enough. Okay, so I'll incorporate these into the actual Firefly instead of just having it as one thing, so we can now create another armor stand beside it, which would have the black texture as opposed to the light texture. I may also even make it so that the light turns on and off. Okay, so I managed to hook it all up, so now we have a fully functional Firefly with a changing light and the right proportions, of course. But it does look pretty weird, and I don't think this is definitely of enough quality to give out to you guys, because it's kind of buggy and stuff. So I'm gonna try and find a way to make that texture just one texture rather than 2 different things, because that makes it teleportation and be like weird and stuff. So I'm gonna try to do that. Okay, took a lot of testing, but I finally got one texture to start working with just a rectangle, just how I wanted it. So I'm going to go ahead and do that with all of the other textures. This is going to take a while. Okay, I'm done. It works. So now we spawn a Firefly. It has all of the different stages. If it will just like stay still for a second, you can see that the thing flicks on and off very nice and slowly, and it also like flicks to its main hand for some reason. I have no idea why it does that. I've tried to stop it, but it doesn't appear to be working. Okay, it's all done. Fireflies are now back in Minecraft after Mojang have deleted them from the 1.19 update. So without further ado, let's showcase the finished data pack, or commands at the moment. I will turn them into a data pack at a later date, hopefully by the time this video releases, maybe not, maybe a few days after. Okay, so spawn one Firefly and get a little dude flying around and generating a bit of light on the floor. But the real purpose of this mob is seen when you put them in maybe a forest or a swamp, someplace which really needs a bit more ambience, and I think these Fireflies really do add that, which is actually what Mojang were trying to do, to create a really nice ambience. So overall, I think this is a pretty good substitute for the mob that was never added to Minecraft, and I hope you do too. Anyway, thank you for watching. Fireflies are galore, and I don't really have an outro planned. Please help, subscribe, cool, good, like the video now, goodbye!